From the land of frozen lakes, this is 10,000 Takes, brought to you by Minnesota Score Radio. Wally and Eric back for yet another week as we slice and dice the always busy, always topical, super saturated Twin Cities sports scene. And Wally, normally we're on the radio, but we are on television once a week. So this is yet another episode, and today it's all about puck power. Boys State Hockey Tournament starts Wednesday in St. Paul, and we had the March Blizzard a few days early.
Yeah, we did.
To get you in the mood.
I'm all in the mood now for the state hockey tournament now that I had to go shovel my driveway over the weekend.
Snow and ice.
Yeah.
And rain.
Lord. Oh, and the snow was heavy, too. Boy, it was terrible. But state hockey tournament will wash all of that away. You and I are going to be really indulged into the state hockey tournament because we're going to be doing radio starting on Thursday right through the end on Saturday night. So plenty of that on AM 1440 here in the Twin Cities metro area. I think that there's some great matchups in this, and there's some interesting storylines, too. And we're going to talk about that today. But I think first let's take a look at what those matchups look like in Class A, because Class A it's all about Hermantown. Mm-hmm. It's Hermantown's to lose.
Yeah, if you want to do a prop bet, you could say, I'll take Hermantown, you can have the field. That's what some people will do because, yeah, they are a dominant program. We shall see if they can get another trophy. War Road's also very good, though, from way up there on the Canadian border. So I think they'll have something to say before Class A is finished.
Yep. So War Road opens up the tournament. Then it's Matamidi and Mankato East. And then in the evening, Hermantown plays New Prague. And then one of the more interesting stories in this entire tournament, Minneapolis is going to play Alexandria. It's the first time a Minneapolis team has made it to the tournament since 1994 when Minneapolis Edison made it.
Now think about this. Minneapolis, easily the largest city in Minnesota population-wise, and yet they're the underdog. They're the Cinderella team in Class A because, as you laid it out, they haven't been there in decades. So I think a lot of people are saying, give it up for the Mill City.
Yeah, and What's more is we're going to talk to Joe Dziedzic. He's the head coach of Minneapolis. That'll be coming up in our next segment. And then AA, let's take a quick look at the AA schedule. It opens up with Cretin and Prior Lake, then Maple Grove, Edina. That should be a great first-round matchup. Hill-Murray back in the tournament, of course, against Lakeville South, and then things wind up with Moorhead and Andover.
All right, all the fun and games starts on Wednesday, Class A, Thursday, Class AA at the X, downtown St. Paul. Let's get some more info on the Boys State Hockey Tournament. Joining us in the Zoom room now from the Minneapolis Star-Tribune, David Lavaque. So we've got it down to 8 teams in each class, 16 total, David. Is there a storyline here that sticks out to you because you're all over that prep scene?
Well, I think in Class 2A, you've got a tournament that all 8 teams feel like they have a legitimate chance to break through and get to the championship game. And in single A, I think it's the opposite. I think it really is probably going to come down to War Road versus Hermantown, the top 2 seeds. And Matamidi could jump in there and disrupt things, but I just feel like it's more a countdown in single A to 2 power programs, and then in double A, it's more wide open.
One of those teams in double A that is a bit of a surprise this year. Of course, it's no surprise to those of us who have watched Edina hockey for years, are the Edina Hornets. They are in unseeded. They go up against a good Maple Grove team. Let's talk about Edina first. What do we know about them other than the fact that they've pitched 4 straight shutouts to get where they are today?
Yeah, the 4 straight shutouts speak to a change in identity for Edina throughout this season. I talked to Kurt Giles about this and where they got ready for their stretch run and why they became what they are. And he said, if you go back and look at the first season, in fact, they beat Maple Grove 6-5. Then it was 6-2, 7-1, 8-0. He said that all looks good, but we didn't feel like that was our true identity. We didn't feel like we have the true offensive horses to play that style every night and make that our formula for winning. We needed to tighten the screws defensively. We need to get guys to buy into the effort and the intensity that it takes to sustain great defensive play. And now you're seeing, as you mentioned, those shutouts down the stretch. So credit to Edina for really changing their identity and having a lot of success with it.
So as you said, they knocked off Maple Grove. The Crimson get another shot on Thursday against the Hornets. Do you like their chances?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Maple Grove, if you look at their season, They lost. They'd won 9 in a row down the stretch. Then they lost to Hill Murray, and I think that was one of those losses that got their mind right, because in the section playoffs they avenged losses earlier in the season that they had against Centennial and Rogers. So that's a sign of a team that's improving and playing really good hockey at the opportune time.
Hill Murray, this is an interesting story because, of course, as we know, state champions a couple of years ago. They didn't get a chance to defend that state championship last year, i.e. COVID and COVID interruptions and not being able to get to the state tournament. What is the feeling around that Hill Murray program now that they've made it back to the state tournament?
It's a combination of unfinished business, but also gratitude. They want to come back and show what they still believe that they have, but they're also grateful that they have the opportunity, because when you had it taken away, it really, I think they really acutely felt the loss that happened last year. No other hockey team went through anything quite like that, and so they're really just grateful that they were good enough to be back, and that there isn't going to be something to take it away now.
David, as you know, the state hockey tournament, it's recognized nationally. It really is a spectacle, and there are future college players and then even NHL guys that'll be on the ice. Give me 3 names to focus on if you're just a fringe fan.
Well, I think for Cretin-Derham Hall, you start with Drew Fisher. Drew is a forward. He's on a wing on the top line. He's a really tremendous player for them. He's their leader in goals and assists. He's definitely one to keep an eye on. Alex Bump of Prior Lake. He had, let me see here, I got to toggle screens, 41 goals this year, including 4 in the section final. So Alex is really playing good hockey right now. And then the final name that I would throw out would be, now can I mention Single A as well in this? Is that
Absolutely.
Of course.
Give him some love.
All right. Ben Dardis from Matamidi, the goaltender, he played a tremendous tournament 2 years ago when Matamidi won its first state championship, and he's still among the best of the goalies that are out there, and somebody like when I mentioned earlier that Matamidi could spoil the Hermantown War Road party, it's because of Ben Dardis in goal.
All right, one last question for you. Prior Lake, here's a team that you don't often hear about at the state tournament. They've got a tall task playing Cretin in the opening game, in their opening game. But what do we know about Prior Lake? I know one thing. They won that at the hockey day in Minnesota, so that was a big deal.
Yeah, we haven't heard about them at tournament times. They've never been here. So welcome, Lakers. They make their debut. And they have arguably the top forward line in the state. Alex Bump, Will Schumacher, Sam Rice. That is a tremendous threesome. And they are going to, we talk about the depth of a program being important. At the state tournament, you can fudge that a little bit because the TV timeouts change that dynamic. And so you could get a lot more use out of that top line than you might get, February 2nd in a conference game. So Prior Lake, that top line is going to be fun to watch.
David, good stuff. We'll see you at the X.
My pleasure, guys. Thanks.
He's David Lavaque, Minneapolis Star-Tribune, all over that prep pucks hockey beat. This is 10K Takes, your state tournament ticket.
I've been meaning to give you these for many years. I think they're perfect.
Maya?
Oh, I love your earring. Why didn't you try these?
It isn't just about vision, it's about care. Nobody cares for eyes more than Pearl.
Nice Rink makes it easy and affordable to create your own outdoor rink. We're hockey players ourselves and spent the last quarter century perfecting the Nice Rink system for the skating community. It is truly engineered to be simple and affordable. What you see here is an actual rink recently set up. Our components are professional grade, the strongest liners for the money. They're engineered to be strong, hold up better than wood, and lighter than solid plastic. Rink in a Box is a great way to get started for only $350. Visit nicerink.com now or call us at 1-888-NICE-RINK to order. Spend less, get more.
Attention hockey players, you need to check out Knockout Net, an interactive electronic hockey training system that lets you play games against the clock or against each other. 10 different game options are all designed to improve your shooting speed and accuracy. Knockout Net is lightweight, can be powered by a small battery, and is easy to maneuver, making it perfect for your garage, basement, or dryland training area. Locally produced in Hastings, Minnesota, check out our website at knockoutnet.com or come see us in person at the Let's Play Hockey Expo this weekend in St. Paul. Welcome back as we continue along on this special edition of 10,000 Takes, our state hockey tournament preview show. And we are pleased to be joined now by Joe Dziedzic, a former player in Minneapolis, now the head coach of the Minneapolis team, which is making its first appearance. This is the first appearance since 1994 for a Minneapolis team in the state tournament. First of all, Joe, congratulations. And did you think you were going to be here this year?
Well, thanks. And I'd say I answer that honestly. I knew we had a chance. I knew we had a good team. But saying it and doing it, two different things. We had to have a lot of things come together, and we grew as a team. So we're sure glad to be here.
Joe, it's a really unique story. You're drawing kids from all over the city. You don't have a nickname, so we've dubbed you the Minneapolis Hockey Club, much like the Washington football team. But it's not your typical path to the state tournament, is it?
No, I mean, right. It's we've got a unique situation with kids coming from multiple high schools and kids that don't get to see each other all day, and then they get to the rink. It's the first time they've really seen each other. Where most schools, the kids are hanging out in the classroom or in the hallways, whatever. So, but we're proud of we're city proud. We're proud of where we come from, and we got some tough, gritty kids. And like I said, we beat a tough Delano team. We beat them twice this year, but that second game in the section final, that was a tough game for us. Could have went either way, and we were lucky enough to pull out on top.
How is the team chemistry when you get kids coming from several different schools and coming together as one?
It's been awesome. You could easily find excuses to say, well, there's going to be cliques here and these kids hang out with these kids, but it's not like that. Our guys are really a tight group that hang out together. They push each other. They're playing hockey. They want to get together and play some extra hockey at the pond or at the parks after practice. So it's been a real eye opener as far as just our team chemistry is one of our strongest aspects.
Do you have any kids who will play at the next level?
I think we do. I think there's probably maybe 2 or 3 kids that there's 2 Hanson brothers that are really good. They'll have a chance to play some junior hockey. We have a kid named Drew Pitts, is a defenseman, really strong, smart player. I think even our goalie Alex Lamont is a really good competitive goalie. I think he's got a chance. So, time will tell. But right now we're just focused on this next week.
Well, and you're certainly focused on Alexandria. This is a team that you played and beat earlier in the season. Tell me about how you match up with them and what you expect on Wednesday night when you play them again.
Yeah, I expect it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a 1 or 2 goal game. I think both teams can score. I think both teams have good goaltending. So I think, like I said, it's going to be a competitive game. It's going to be the last game of the day, and it's going to be a late one. So we're just going to do everything we can to win that first game. That's the big one. You can't win the 2 and 3 if you don't win number 1.
Well, and if you do happen to win the first one, you most likely are going to face a Hermantown team that just steamrolled everybody through sections at least, and through most of their regular season as well.
Yeah, they're the top team. Everybody knows they're the top team in single A. But like I said, we're just going to focus on Alex and see. Hopefully, we get by them, and if we do, then we'll see what we can do against Hermantown.
Joe, what kind of a buzz is there in the city? I know a few years ago when Minneapolis North finally got to the Prep Bowl, that was a huge deal. They overcame a lot of barriers. Now you've got a Minneapolis hockey team at the X in St. Paul. This is a monster achievement, isn't it?
Oh, it's unreal. Just the the amount of emails and phone calls and texts that I've been getting, and interview requests, and just alumni calling up and sending emails, and offering to take our team out to dinner, and it's just a really great sign of support from past players and past alumni. And like I said, it's Minneapolis has kind of been down on its luck the last year or two with social issues, and some of downtown Minneapolis just kind of being empty. So this is something I think hopefully that we can do our part to help bring some hope back to the city.
Are you having fun as a head coach in all of this?
I am. I mean, I love the game. I've loved it since I was a kid, and I love teaching the game to the kids. And like I said, when you have a group like this that's really committed, super motivated to learn, it makes coaching a lot more enjoyable.
And you have a hockey pedigree. You played at Edison, U of M, Pittsubrgh Penguins alongside Super Mario Lemieux. Do your kids know about your past?
They do. I try not to bring it up too much. I try not to, say back in my day. Every once in a while, I might tell them a story. I brought up some names, and guys were like, who? They didn't remember who some of the guys were. And I'm like, guys, these were like legends of Minneapolis hockey and just the state of Minnesota. And so sometimes I have to remember, or sometimes I'll give a movie reference and they haven't heard of like Bull Durham, some of these movies. And I think it shows you my age. I'm kind of aging myself out, but it's just a really fun group. We've had a great year, and like I said, we just want to keep it going.
Well, maybe you got the next Lemieux or the next Jaromir Jagr in your group. Hopefully you're able to pull through and get to that second round, and who knows, maybe this fantasy run continues for you guys. Good luck to you. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, guys. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, he is Joe Dziedzic. He is the head hockey coach of the boys' Minneapolis team that is headed to the state tournament. Wednesday night, they play Alexandria. We'll be back with more here on 10,000 Takes after this timeout. Stay with us.
I've been meaning to give you these for many years. I think they're perfect.
Maya?
Oh, I love your earring. Why didn't you try these?
It isn't just about vision, it's about care. Nobody cares for eyes more than Pearl.
Attention hockey players, you need to check out Knockout Net, an interactive electronic hockey training system that lets you play games against the clock or against each other. 10 different game options are all designed to improve your shooting speed and accuracy. Knockout Net is lightweight, can be powered by a small battery, and is easy to maneuver, making it perfect for your garage, basement, or dryland training area. Locally produced in Hastings, Minnesota, check out our website at knockoutnet.com or come see us in person at the Let's Play Hockey Expo this weekend in St. Paul. 10,000 Takes, Wally and Eric, and our Boys State High School Hockey Tournament Special, and we are pleased to be joined now by Darby Hendrickson. He played back in the day, the early 90s, for the Richfield Spartans in that state hockey tournament. And Darby, welcome to the show, and your fondest memory of being part of the state hockey tournament. What clicks in your brain when you think about the state hockey tournament?
Yeah, it was special, and I just think, growing up in Richfield to have a chance to play the where you watched as a kid and you hoped and dreamed. I had a brother that was 2 years younger. I was fortunate to be with him and share that time. And there's so many memories of playing. We did not win our first game, which is disappointing, but the experience was awesome. And I think throughout the history, my father was a coach who was involved in it. I have a son who was a part of a state championship team in Minnetonka. A few years back. So it's been something that's near and dear that you were fortunate to not only watch as a kid, but also play in it.
And Darby, through the decades, so many snapshots, so many takeaways from the state hockey tournament in Minnesota. And you're now in the NHL, the highest level with the Wild. How often do you run into guys in the National Hockey League where the state hockey tournament in Minnesota comes up and you guys gush about it and how great it is, how organic it is?
Yeah, 100%. And obviously, throughout the years, you play with different players, and everyone has memories of whether they made it or didn't, or what team they thought was the best. But those are neat things that are still players share. And even now today, when we're on the road, we'll have the games on the side, with our staff who are largely Canadian, but just appreciate it now that they live in Minnesota and who have kids here. So it's just something that is unique to our state, and there's a pureness to it with families and kids, and it's still something that players talk about all the time, and they're very aware of who's winning and how it's going.
And playing in St. Paul back when you played, it was the glass boards, and it's almost iconic in a way because you see those on television and you knew immediately what you were watching. It was the Boys State High School Hockey Tournament.
Yep, and it just had a mystique, kind of like a Field of Dreams type scenario scene, and it just was special. Like if you could make it there and represent your town and also be with the buddies you grew up with your whole life that you played every level with, it just was a surreal thing. And I remember our first practice there. I think we practiced like midweek, and it just was like, you're here. But you're so excited. When you're younger, you're trying to contain your excitement. Your adrenaline is, you want to win it and you want to play now, but it's like, slow down. You gotta get through game one and all that type of stuff. But just the whole thing and being at that rink and St. Paul, it was so much fun to go to St. Paul. It just had and it was always getting warmer. It was spring break and the snow was melting, but it was a magical time to go there in the spring and just be involved in it.
Darby, our viewers definitely want to know what is going on with the Minnesota Wild. It's a bit of a free fall right now. A loss to Dallas on Sunday. Jason Robertson had a hat trick for the Stars. Is it fair, because the Wild are giving up a boatload of goals, is it fair to put all the blame on Cam or Kakko and the Nets, or is it bigger than that?
No, there's a combination of things. I mean, we've been in a lot of scenarios where we've been close on the road. Toronto, Ottawa come to mind, where we're in tight games and we lose it late. And we were able to win those games early in the year. It's a combo of different things. Yeah, you want to get a big goal. Yeah, you want to get a big stop. Yeah, you want your power play to be good or your penalty kill to be perfect. Maybe there's times we've taken too many penalties. It's a combo. But we have a good team, and 3-4 weeks ago we were in a really good spot, and we got to get refocused on what makes us good, and that's collective. We are a balanced team. When we're intact health wise, we're really good, but we've missed a few players, and that's part of it. But we just play together and hang in there, and no one's panicking here. But we got to get back to the simple things in hockey and how we compete and get a lead early in a game and keep the lead. Those are things we did early as well. So, we got work here for sure. But we it's not going to happen overnight. We know we have to work our way back to kind of get the clouds to clear and to clear up. And we have a group with our leadership that I know will do that.
Last question for you. A few weeks ago, you won 9 out of 10. Now you've lost 8 of your last 10 since then. In your eyes, what has been the difference? What's different about this club than it was when you won 9 out of 10?
Yeah, I think there's a number of games we won where I look back and we may have got a chance and we didn't love our game. Through a large streak, minus probably a Calgary game in Calgary, we've been happy with our game. We've outchanced teams. We just haven't got the job done. So it's been different things that have affected it, but the big thing is just stick together here, and we're not out of it, and we're not happy with what's happening, but we have to build it back correctly, and we have to we have to do the things that make us good, and that's work, and we have our skill. Obviously, we have Kirill Kaprizov, Fiala's on our Corellos, which have been terrific, but we still got to have a work grit type of game. I think that's been a theme of our team all year. We can't lose that, but we'll be okay. But we got to go out and work and work hard and work smart together. And we got a big one against the Rangers tomorrow, so it'll be a good test and one to build on. So we're looking forward to that, and we've got a lot of games and a lot of days, which is fine. But it's just relying on everyone at different times to get their job, and we know we're going to do it.
All right, Darby, good 4-1-1. Appreciate you spending some time with us and, of course, giving us some of your memories of that state hockey tournament. And we will catch up with you again, I'm sure, here in the next few weeks.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Darby.
All right. He is Darby Hendrickson, assistant coach with the Minnesota Wild and, of course, formerly with the Gophers and played in that state hockey tournament way back in the day. More here on 10,000 Takes after this timeout. Attention hockey players, you need to check out Knockout Net, an interactive electronic hockey training system that lets you play games against the clock or against each other. 10 different game options are all designed to improve your shooting speed and accuracy. Knockout Net is lightweight, can be powered by a small battery, and is easy to maneuver, making it perfect for your garage, basement, or dryland training area. Locally produced in Hastings, Minnesota, check out our website at knockoutnet.com or come see us in person at the Let's Play Hockey Expo this weekend in St. Paul.
I've been meaning to give you these for many years. I think they're perfect.
Maya?
Oh, I love your earring. Why didn't you try these?
It isn't just about vision, it's about care. Nobody cares for eyes more than Pearl.
$10K Takes on television. Wally and Eric with you. Final segment of today's show.
Yes.
Takes of the day. We're going to find out if you're an angry American, a cranky Yankee, giddy guardian, grumpy guardian. What are you today?
Well, I think I'm a happy camper. How's that? Because the boys' state hockey tournament has returned in full force. Now, we had it last year, so they didn't really miss a year. The state tournament got in just under the wire 2 years ago when the pandemic hit. Matter of fact, the pandemic hit like a couple of days after the state tournament. So that was good. Last year, at least they got it in, but there were no fans. There was like a handful of fans allowed from each organization, from each team. It was an empty arena. I did a bunch of games on the radio, and it was really strange. But it's back this year. Fans are back in, no masks, no COVID cards required, no vaccination cards. Go to the X, enjoy one of Minnesota's great traditions. It is the Boys State Hockey Tournament, and I am thrilled that it's back.
Wow, you're Captain Sunshine.
Oh, couldn't be happier.
A giddy guardian. All right, well, that is good news. Back to normal,
Yes.
so to speak.
All right.
All right, well, the team that is the main occupant at the XL Energy Center, they're in freefall mode, the Minnesota Wild. And boy, they got the double whammy on Sunday, Wally, losing to the old Minnesota North Stars, now the Dallas Stars, who have tied the Wild in the Central Division standings with 67 points. And they saw one of their former guys, Ryan Suter, come in, and he's part of the Stars, success, 25 points, still anchoring that blue line. So the Wild now, they've suddenly are a team, Wally, on the playoff bubble. I mean, they're in the playoffs now if the season ends, but they're not that far from being out of the postseason picture. So they better step it up beginning Tuesday night against the New York Rangers.
Yeah, they're defensively, they're a mess right now. Capo Kakinen came out of the game on Sunday night. I mean, they gave up 6 goals there. They gave up 7 the game before. I mean, what in the world is going on defensively with this team? And it's both. And I've said this all along. It's both the goaltending and the defense.
And Ryan Suter may have been a guy who could have helped that defensive unit. As John Madden once said about quarterbacks, if you have 2, you have none. I think the same is applicable in hockey. If you have 2 goalies, you don't have any. The Wild are still in search of a guy who can get hot in the nets. All right, we got to go. Let's FedEx out those thank yous. One to our crew who made this show possible. Also, Rocky, David Lavaque, Joe Dziedzic, and Darby Hendrickson. For Wally, I'm Eric saying so long. This is 10,000 Takes, your sports ticket.